Hey everybody, it's Matt Shu from Upright Health, and I am here with you in split screen. It's me and me talking to myself. And okay, just kidding. This is actually Vincent, and we are going to be talking with you about breathing. So when I first met Vincent, I noticed that he had some weird nervous tics. He'd be doing stuff like that, be adjusting his head and neck, his shoulders all the time. What was that about?
I always had these headaches and just felt some weird tension here that I just really needed to let go of somehow, and that was the only way I knew how to let go of it.
And you do a bunch of training, you had done some tissue work and stuff, and you lift heavy weights, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was a pretty decent athlete at the time already. You know, I didn't really have any serious pain that kept me from living my life how I would like to, but that would really get annoying when I need to press on my neck, get the knots out, and they'd show up again in 5 minutes. So,
So it's like this is a really common thing. So a lot of people end up with these neck issues. People are like, oh gosh, it's tight, it's tense. This happens with people who work at the office. This happens with athletes too. Vincent's example, we were thinking, is probably really applicable for people who are noticing this, especially if they're well trained, they have muscle, and that's all good, and they keep trying to relax it, and it doesn't relax. That's where this starts coming into play. So what have you noticed? So you're super excited today to tell us about how you've solved this over the last couple of weeks. So what have you been finding with your neck tension?
It really came from my inability to breathe deeply, or not inability, but I just wasn't breathing deeply. I was chest breathing all the time.
So what does that mean? What is this chest breathing stuff?
So normally when you breathe, you're supposed to breathe from your diaphragm. That's a generally known fact, but not just your diaphragm. You're actually supposed to breathe all the way around your abdomen. And if you don't do that, well, your body is still like, we need oxygen still, and we're going to get it any way that we can. So it's going to start using other muscles like the pec minor, muscles around the neck. And you start getting, scalene, sternocleidomastoids, right? So you start getting a lot of this. Right? And we all know what happens when muscles that aren't supposed to be working start working on tasks that they're not supposed to be working
Everybody gets unhappy.
Everybody gets unhappy, right? And what do you know? Tension headaches, little nervous tics up here. So that's been a huge breakthrough for me. Just focusing on breathing here makes my everything here go away immediately when I do that.
So you've said for you it's basically instantaneous. Like if you're breathing, if you're doing this kind of breathing, you start getting this tension. If you just revert down to abdominal breathing and opening up down here, then you feel like it just melts out.
Yeah, within even just one breath sometimes. I mean, usually it takes like 2 or 3, sometimes more if I'm super anxious for whatever reason. But I mean, it's compared to what has happened in the past, it's instantaneous.
So this is a pretty important thing to think about, right? If you are doing any exercise enough times in a day, you're going to have your muscles get a little bit annoyed. They'll talk to you a little bit. So when you're breathing, we've heard the numbers like 20 to 22,000 breaths a day that you're doing. If you're neck breathing the whole time, it's not going to be that surprising if your neck and shoulder muscles are a little bit annoyed. So you want to train yourself to be able to have a variety of options available. So for Vincent, if your neck's bugging you, you can just go straight to belly breathing, right? He can get into his abdominals and breathe well that way, and it releases that tension there. That doesn't mean that you should always be breathing into your belly with these really relaxed breaths, right? Are there times when you wouldn't be using that personally for you?
Right, like if you're lifting something or you're carrying something around, right, you're not going to be able to take the same breaths as you are if you're doing yoga or you're meditating.
Right. Yeah, so if you're playing football and somebody's about to hit you, that is probably not the time you want to be taking a nice relaxing breath where your neck and shoulders
or you're boxing.
Right, when you're boxing, you don't want to be nice, relaxing, easy breath to flow. No, you need to have a variety of options available. If you feel yourself getting tight, it might be helpful for you to think about, where am I breathing? Am I constantly up here? I know for me personally, if I'm in front of the computer and working on stuff for a long period of time, I absolutely start to bias towards this kind of breathing because I'm in that constant like excited state and like, ooh, what am I going to click on next? Ooh, new email. So my body just gets into this active state and I start getting in here, and it's hard for me to then come back down unless I take some time to relax, maybe meditate, go for a walk or something like that, or just work out.
Yeah, we want to save that kind of more excited breathing, that excited mental state for our exercise. And things that actually require that, like when we're just sitting down and doing that, all that's going to do is cause stress.
Right. So guys, remember to breathe well. Figure out how to breathe in your belly, figure out how to breathe with your neck and shoulders if you really need to. Figure out how to have a variety of breathing patterns. It's not like there's always one right answer, but have the ability to do multiple things, multiple ways, so that you can feel comfortable all the time. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out on Facebook. The link will be in the description section, and like us because we like you. And remember that pain sucks.
Life shouldn't.
If you liked the video, don't forget to like, share, and comment. And don't forget to subscribe.